There you go.
No, 130.
And so we'll just let you get right into it.
Okay.
And for those of us that are following along on the
130.
130, thank you, Councilmember Joke.
So I thought I would just highlight some of the things that the Law Department has been working on this year to give you a flavor of how we spend our time and resources.
You guys really do.
We don't do anything, actually. We do try to look good, but we don't even make that every day. We have worked diligently, as I know you know, because they come before you, to increase our tax seizures for delinquent taxes. We have spent an enormous amount of energy focusing on code enforcement. We have increased the number of inspection warrants that we have been obtaining. We are in the hundreds now, and why that is so important is because it ensures that tenants are safe. It ensures that the places that people are residing as tenants versus fee owners are up to code with respect to fire inspections, ingress and egress. People have not turned basements into bedrooms with no way to get out in the event of a fire. So we have spent a lot of time doing that. We have also taken on some very bad property owners. So we have filed petitions against Kletsky, a name you might know. He is a nefarious property owner, owns multiple properties here in the city, either individually or through LLCs that he has created. None of them are up to code. Some of them we had to get emergency demo orders on. So we actually have commenced an action in Supreme Court against him. We have done the same against the new owners of the Skyline because unfortunately they came in when the Greens owned it and made representations to the court about what their intentions were, and we have not seen those come to fruition. We have been battling ongoing code violations there, so we have commenced an action against them, and we recently commenced an action against Nob Hill as well.
And as the counselor who represents Nob Hill, I thank you for that.
What about Vincent?
We're headed there.
Okay.
I have a couple more in my pipeline that we're working on. Valentine. So Valentine is a different situation simply because the lender there sought its own receiver to come in and renovate the
So
properties.
since then, we don't
But-
have much to it.
Well, if the lender's going to do it, then it's better the lender do it in some instances. But if we don't see progress there, certainly we can seek court intervention as well.
Oh, Hilltop. I know this is
You-
a budget,
you
but
bring-
I'm just throwing it out. I got a chance, so I'm like,
Let me say this. My office is open to hearing from all of you if you have a problem property that continuously does not maintain code compliance. We have a team. We have worked hard to put this team together. They are, it is a significant undertaking. It's not an easy petition to bring in court, but I am all about bringing them. So if you have a particular property on your radar that you would like my office to investigate and pursue, please call me. Send me an email, stop by and see me. It is something that my office takes very seriously, and we stand ready to proceed.
before you go over the numbers, just one question about codes and you guys. Do you have one person in codes that directly works with you guys regarding like business, like big buildings, like, you know, the Valentine, the Vincent? Is there one person that's like,
So we work directly with Ryan Scheel and Jake DeShaw. And now they, mind you, have multiple code inspectors that go out that report to them, but they come to me. So they are my contact in codes. I work very closely with them. My team works very closely with them. But I don't want you to think that I'm speaking to individual code inspectors every day. I'm not. I am speaking with Ryan and Jake.
okay.
Yep. In addition to those types of actions, we have taken on bringing actions against stores that are illegally selling tobacco to minors. I am very pleased to say that we have a wonderful working relationship with the county health department. They are the ones who monitor sales to minors, and we now have a pipeline with them. They notify us when they find a location that is selling to a minor, and then we bring an action to enforce our local tobacco law. We are also bringing actions against stores that are illegally selling cannabis. We are working with SPD to go after stores illegally selling spike. We are trying to utilize, it's crazy. We are utilizing unique and different resources to try to bring to bear on these property owners the importance of them complying with the orders of the code department. So if you are found to have violated the law and you have had an opportunity for a hearing and we order you closed, you have to stay closed. And if you don't, we are going to work with SPD to bring some criminal charges against you. So we are trying to use as many tools in our tool belt that we can and being creative about doing it. And we have had some success in that, and we will just keep fighting that battle. In addition, this year we have had a lot of labor and arbitration hearings. They come from all over the city. So anytime there's an employee who is disciplined or terminated and the union chooses to grieve, that comes through my office. So we deal with a lot of those. We also deal with, as you know, FOIL requests. We are on target this year to have well over 3,200 FOIL requests that require each time someone to review the request, reach out to every department that it involves, get the documents, review the documents. It is incredibly labor intensive. Documents, some of them have to be redacted. You have to put a chart together to indicate what the redactions are.
Is that the record access officer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And
Your budget, so while you're going on, we know you do great things,
Okay.
right? So I just,
thank you.
yeah. So as far as the budget here, you're requesting one new position, right?
It's not even one position. It looks like it's an increase in one position, but really, someone came from Sura onto my line, so it's really a net zero to me.
Old Sura,
And there's
there
a,
she is.
Yeah, that great, Sarah. Okay.
there was they call it add abolish. So I had a position that we abolished to make the records management position for the person who heads up our FOIL team. So really, it's a net neutral to me.
So in regular English, so I can understand,
I know. Is Julie here?
it's somebody from,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Julie
so I
can
can
explain it.
understand
I tried to explain what
Yeah.
she explained to me.
yeah.
So that's the kind of swapping that is the law clerk, because I see.
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah, I'm
right.
just
Right,
like,
swapping it, okay.
Right. It
So
was,
you-
at the
you-
time, it was more important to me to have a records office manager than to have a law clerk, so someone could be in charge of FOIL. And so
Right.
we switched those positions.
Okay.
I
So last year was
abolished
vacant.
one and
Yeah.
created one.
Right, it was vacant last year.
what's the
This
name of the
year,
position? Because we got the Sarah stuff, right?
Yeah, so it was the,
law clerk
it
and
was
record.
one of the paralegals, a collections paralegal, maybe?
A records access
Yes.
officer.
So it is coming off of that sheet,
Going off of that sheet.
and then is going on to their City 101 line
Why?
as the record access officer.
You know why?
It was a personnel thing, I don't,
So they took it out of Sarah and added it back to your budget.
right. So she has the same number of positions, they're just allocated
Interesting. Normally it goes
differently.
the other way, so.
Right, yeah.
I guess that's a good thing for you.
Yeah.
Could I point out one observation here?
Yes, you said.
When we look at the activity indicators, we don't see the number of times that Joe Barry's phone rang with one of us calling him.
There wasn't enough room on the paper, so we thought we'd leave it at.
My only observation.
I will also say just, I also love Joe Barry, so I bend over backwards to try to be gracious to him. Just as an overall comment, in addition to all the work we are doing, and we're trying to keep as much of it in-house as we can, just generally speaking, costs have gone up. So the more actions we bring, even though it's manpower, it's more copies that we have to make to file with the court. It's more service. We have to serve these entities. And when they're out of state, we have to serve the Secretary of State. So there's additional costs associated with this aggressive approach we're taking to address properties. It's certainly worth it. I am not complaining about that. I'm just making a comment that postage, service, copies, all of that, just generally speaking, has gone up.
The special use permits, the permits that we passed and all that, which are very helpful, especially with the stores and all that. We had a couple people actually come come to visit me because, you know, we're going to have a couple on the agenda. What, could you, once again, and for maybe you explained it to me, as far as that liquor store down on the end of Gifford and West,
Yes.
you determined that even though we denied the special use permit, that it violated state law because we were treating a liquor store different than other retail stores, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And how do
You
we?
want me to say that
Yeah.
in different
Yeah.
words?
Yeah.
Yeah, she,
No, I love to hear lawyers
You
say
got it,
correct to
though.
me. It's unbelievable.
Yes, it's the legal reason. It's
Yeah.
not attorney-client privilege. So state law says that municipalities, all municipalities, not just us, all municipalities are prohibited from regulating liquor stores any differently than you regulate any other retail establishment. So that means I can't require, if, let's say we're on Main Street, USA, and you want to open a grocery store, and next to you, I want to open a liquor store. You can't say to me, well, Sue, you need an SUP because you're selling liquor. That is a preemption of state law because the state law says, no, you can't do that. If you say to every retail facility,
that's crazy.
a dollar store, a restaurant, a gas station, anything that's retail, if you say to all of them, if you want to put your store on Main Street, USA, you have to come and get a special use permit. Then you can do it because you're treating all retail the same.
But there is rules with churches and schools, right?
That's different. That's the state rule. And so you can mirror the state rule.
So,
Yes.
but it's different. So if, say, a liquor store was next to a church, wanted to open their church, that, we would supersede that, right?
Yeah, the state actually would. They wouldn't issue a liquor license for that location because they would look and say, you're within 200 feet, is it 200 feet? Whatever it is, 200 feet of a church or an elementary school, and they would not issue you a liquor license for that location.
So we're convenience stores obviously sell beer and, you know, and we're regulating them basically, correct? But we're regulating them through cannabis and spike and
Right.
all the other stuff.
Right.
Okay. So we're regulating them with tobacco basically,
Correct.
you know? And the licenses we're issuing diminish, right?
But now, are you moving on to tobacco now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you. Yes.
You're a lawyer, you should follow
I
me.
kept right up there. Yes.
Okay, so I mean, so there's a certain, when two licenses go out of business, somebody goes out of business, only one is issued, is that it?
Correct.
Okay.
How many do we have? We issued out.
The idea is to limit it.
100 and, I don't know the exact number, but I will get it for you. And that's the
And I
cap.
would like to see the map of those, that,
Oh, we
or
can
it doesn't,
get-
or it doesn't matter? Does it,
If you want to see the map, you can see the
yeah,
map.
the map of where they are physically on.
Yes.
Oh, the liquor
Right.
store.
Well, I'll tell you
Just-
one
just to
thing.
see.
I'll tell you one thing, Counselor, and you know too. Geddes Street is like unbelievable as far as that goes. There's a convenience store on every corner almost. And
So I'm sorry,
probably a
go ahead.
life issue, you
Yeah.
know, I mean.
Definitely. So not to, I mean, I'm gonna ask you, but I'm gonna ask you so everybody can hear. But how do we address that? Like, as a city of Syracuse, how do we address those changes? Do we go after New York State and try to put something in about our city, you know, far as, you know, concentrated poverty, far as, you know, the crime rate, like where you allow all these, businesses are great, right? But to allow certain things in certain neighborhoods and concentrate it, that is already concentrated poverty, is causing more and more issues. We know that for a fact. Like, how do we navigate this?
So because nothing is ever black and white and nothing is quite as easy as you're asking me. If you're asking me specifically about liquor stores, that would be, you'd have to go to the state and ask them to amend the law. If you are asking me, is there a way to limit the number of corner stores, that's something my office could look into to see if there is a way to limit the number of corner stores. But that is not something that I have done.
You answered both of my questions.
Okay.
Well, you know, to Counselor Caldwell's point, that's a great point. So in other words, I mean, we would carry the ball with the state, our state representatives. If something like you
liquor
looked into
side.
The
that.
liquor side.
No, well, no, I mean, and
both.
the convenience store, limiting convenience stores. I mean, certainly we would ask our state representatives to consider something like amending the law to like limit the amount of convenience stores in a certain area. Because of I love, you know, what she said about, you know, the poverty in certain areas of our city. I think that would be something we can consider.
So does the, for the state to approve this, does it have, so the police signs off on it, and so do we, the clerk's office too, right? Does that come before or after?
Before they issue.
So then, there it
There's
is.
nothing, but there's nothing they can do because the law protects them.
Correct.
Right.
Like we
But what if the
notify
police doesn't sign off on it or the clerk's office?
that the notice for someone who's seeking their liquor license goes to the clerk. The clerk sends it to our office. She sends it to the chief of police, codes, and you all get it.
Right.
And then we have an opportunity to comment. So the police will always respond and either say, there's been these problems at this location, or we have no history. And then ultimately, it is up to the state to decide, based upon the information they have,
If they
whether
use
or
it.
not to issue or not. All we can do is provide comment. So,
I'll make a comment. The state liquor authority used to be way more robust than they are now. Now they're missing in action, basically. They don't even have a local office up here. It's really, really hurts our neighborhood, not having a local person. Because we have like these after-hours places, not even after hours, they're just operating as bars without a license, some of these places are. So,
So just to say, we're gonna be coming to y'all because we gotta get some things changed in our community because we're suffering because of the rules that we can't control here, so.
my door is always open.
not to, we had a store that was a vexatious store in my council district in Geddes Street that we worked on, and then we felt, you guys did a great job, Jake did a great job, everybody did a great job. Then we discovered they had a liquor license to sell beer since 2014. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nobody, I mean, and it's not up to us to enforce that, but the state liquor authority used to be so much more on top of things.
That's something else you can ask your state representatives about.
Well, we got a list.
You guys
Myself
hear
and
us?
Councilor Caldwell have a
Let's
list.
go.
So if we were to go to that route, where we are asking state, would that be an exception to us, or would that apply to all municipalities?
Well, you would be asking for you, how
Okay.
they choose to do it, if they choose to do it.
Okay.
You know, others
But
may jump on the bandwagon. I can't answer that question for you.
I think that to your point,
Yeah, we gotta
that
do
something
something.
got to happen. Something
both
has
things.
to happen.
There- you
And,
will-
and send us those map, that map that you're gonna,
The location of all
Yes, please.
stores selling tobacco,
Please.
or all,
just corner stores generally.
Yeah.
We'll look at the tobacco and liquor later.
they're
Just
mostly
give-
all in
just-
the
just the-
concentrated
I
poverty.
think where we are trying to head is just to see where are these stores,
Well, we know.
right? We do,
Yeah.
but when you see it visually, it's different, right?
Concentrated
Where the concentration especially,
Yep.
yeah.
So I had a
Yes.
question on the judgments collected. Why are we estimating we're gonna go down from 341,000 plus down to 225? Why do you think we're gonna be collecting less judgments?
I think because when we took over, there were years and years of judgments. So we started with the most recent, and now we've cleared many of them, and we're getting down to ones
see.
that are older. And the older they are, the harder the harder they are to collect. So it's just an operation of,
So it's hard to get some extra revenue.
right. But we are continuing to find creative ways to go after individuals who we take judgments against for code violations and other things. And now we have the ability to roll some of that to the taxes, so hopefully you will see,
No, another thing was, last year, a business opened up illegally, and it took about 3 months. And you're not talking about 1414 Grant Boulevard, that I walked in there, they had no proper license, I want to talk to the owner, and we had a discussions, you, Joe, and the mayor, but we had to go through this process, even though we knew that they opened up illegally, they didn't have why why, because people will ask, why the slow process? Why didn't we have the ability, like any other business, to shut it down immediately? Because it's right near a school, and they were selling illegal smokes without a light or other things.
We are bound by the law.
State of New York? Okay.
Yes, and we have to provide due process. We have to give them an opportunity to be heard. We have to get out there and give them a notice and an opportunity to cure. We have tried shortcutting the process, and the court has not supported us.
Yeah,
So,
because it was so frustrating, because these
Yes, it
people
is.
were going in, and they were parking right on the sidewalk, Warden Ave, and I had to call the police. They were just blocking the sidewalks.
well, in that case, the police could come and
They
tow
did,
them
they
for
ticketed
parking
it,
in
they
the right
did.
way.
I called Carlos, and the thing was, that's a neighborhood residence right by Webster. And of course, we took care of it.
I think we should bring back the position of city marshal and appoint Councilor Nave.
Yes.
To it.
It would be great.
Listen,
Put that in the budget. Put that in the budget. City
All
marshal.
right, Counselor Hogan, with that, I think we,
They see me walking down Wall Street, and guy goes, why are you taking a picture of my house? I go, city official.
there you go.
Just a quick question to council.
Okay, last one.
So page 133,
133?
professional service, is that, what goes under that? For you?
Outside counsel.
Outside counsel? All of that?
For the most part.
Okay.
All
And
right.
experts for trial, but mostly outside counsel fees.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
May I answer a question I heard that you asked before?
Okay,
about,
we second it, but go ahead. No, go ahead.
Were you asking about whether or not we had any surplus hearings on seizure properties yet? We have money set aside. So our first hearing is coming up next week. And so, stay tuned. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good evening.
Now, so moved.